I have had a major surprise last night playing Helldivers 2 when I was joined by a few random players, but including someone who was able to call in all these new unreleased stratagems. So I got to test all of them and I wanted to share these cool sneak peeks with you guys of what might be coming our way soon on the battlefield. A fair warning though, this video will contain major spoilers, so if you don't want to see any of them, I have recently reviewed the 2 premium war bonds, which is safe non-spoiler content. Link is at the top of your screen. The last 5 seconds before we start, what I want to ask you guys is, by the end of this video, let me know in a comment what you're looking forward to most and I'll be making a dedicated review on the top 2 items. So let's get started. First off, we got to take a look at the new APC or Humvee-like vehicle. It can carry the entire squad, having a driver, 2 machine gunners and somebody then left inside in the back. Unfortunately, in the very first firefight, the tires got blown off of this one on one side, so we couldn't get really far, but it's cool to notice that the damage model allows for this level of destruction. The machine gun seems to do pretty solid damage, so driving around the map in the future, dealing with simple patrols, should be possible without having to stop moving. Now I can imagine this means so much for a lot of people because the amount of time you can save not having to walk across large maps, especially with ICBM or data transfer missions. I can see people being able to accomplish a lot more during missions, do more secondary objectives, or maybe even, but we'll have to see if it actually works, we can just do some high-speed kiting of large mobs on higher difficulty level missions. So next up, a missile silo was called in, most comparable I guess to a laser designator. Picking it up is somewhat tricky as apparently you have to crouch in order to be able to pick it up. Now I'm not sure why it would be designed this way and if that will be changed later on, but just being able to stand and pick it up seems more in line with every other stratagem that we have so far. It's clearly a support weapon because as you can see it replaces the laser cannon support weapon that I was carrying. So let's take a look at the field test, which is just absolutely awesome.
Tank. There's a fabricator over here. Oh yeah, you can just barely see it I think.
Yep. Okay, so I hold left mouse button.
Yep.
Oh, here we go. Blue light.
Man, that's cool as shit.
This is badass. Wow.
I'm excited for that.
Oh yeah. Apparently the range on this thing is unlimited and it seems to do a ton of damage, which made me think immediately of so many applications for this weapon in certain scenarios. Those cannon towers over at automaton bases, tanks, hulks, bile titans, spore spewers, objectives. I mean, as long as you have a line of sight, this thing would enable you to just instantly destroy it. There is a somewhat particular process in firing this thing, because you have to press and hold down your, I'm on PC, your left mouse button, then you can see this blue beam of light, which is like the laser, and then after a couple of seconds you have a missile striking at your target. And after a couple of seconds we can see a missile hitting the target. Now it remains to be seen if it can one-shot heavy armored enemies and if the missile is a tracking one, so if it follows your laser around. I'm really curious if that'll be the case, because if it does, this thing is very, very powerful. Also something I'm really curious about, if this has a limited number of uses in total or unlimited, but a very long cooldown before another one can be called in. Shortly after we finished having some fun with the missile silo, another cool thing was incoming in the form of a defensive wall with a mounted machine gun, which seems like an awesome addition for defending those extraction sites that don't provide a lot of natural cover. So it provides basic cover, protecting against projectiles, but as we were testing it, an explosion will definitely destroy it, so most likely, seeing that the APC's tires can be shot off, indicating some sort of progressive damage model, these walls might also be destroyed after just taking X amount of rounds. This seems to come in 2 varieties, so we have a machine gun version and a grenade launcher version, which I can show you in a bit. And in between missions, during the mission preparation, we got a brief look at 2 new armor sets coming to the game. One looking like a heavy breacher armor set, although I didn't get a chance to ask about the passive. The second one was a cool yellow armor, or as I will call it from now on, the Bumblebee armor set. And it has the extra padding passive. Now this is rumored to be part of the April war bond, but of course, as with all of these items, we will just have to wait and see what turns out to be the case. I think it's just absolutely fantastic that they're trying something else for armors in the sense of color schemes. So that's interesting to see that they have made this choice for a color. Another vehicle in the works is a recon buggy, and as you can see, it can carry again the whole squad. So it has the new MG206 machine gun, the one that we had released just only a couple of days ago. This is mounted on the top, which yours truly tested out on some bots, and at this point there doesn't seem to be a reticule for the gun, so that's kind of annoying. But this one also has the small magazine, so it's definitely not overpowered in having unlimited ammo and laser accuracy. So we had some fun with it, we drove around, and as you can see, it has a pretty good speed to it, but obviously at some point it will get blown up as it did just here. Also, a new primary weapon called the Eruptor is shown here, a bolt action rifle firing explosive rounds, which made me think of the Jar 5 Dominator obviously, only bigger and slower to fire. Also a good look here at the new yellow armor set, which you might have seen from some other YouTube channels in some of the news videos. So that's again very handsome looking. And then onto a very cool thing is the new Emancipator mech suit, which is the dual autocannon version of the one that we have now. A cool feature, it's bright yellow, which might indicate it will be released somewhere around the release of the April Warband, since that armor we just saw is also yellow. I'm aware it's a little bit thin, I'm basing this entirely off of the color yellow, but you know, it kind of makes sense that because the autocannon mech suit has been rumored for a while now, that it will be released somewhere within the next few weeks. We might actually see something tied into the storyline here, so the war effort, we might be forced to go back to Tien Quan to maybe defend a lab or a factory where they are developing this new type of mech. So it would be cool to see that again incorporated into the story. So this mech suit carries 2 75 round magazines, so it carries a ton of firepower. I got to do quite some testing with it, and it can make short work of the heavier enemies in mere seconds.
S1 got drop ships on him.
I got him. I have the autocannon mech, so I'm good.
I don't have any details on the requirements to unlock this, such as player level or cost, but I'm expecting this to be available upwards of level 25 for at least 20,000 requisition points, as the regular mech suit did as well. So a little bit further on in the mission here, I got a chance to actually test the Eruptor primary weapon, which seems to be a really powerful but definitely supporting weapon, much like the anti-material rifle, with teammates taking care of the smaller enemies and you taking out the stuff like Devastators or Hive Guards. I'm really curious if this will actually be able to kill a charger with a couple of well-placed headshots, and how it does against the Hulk. Here we have a final look at the grenade launcher version of the defense wall. It looks just the same apart from the weapon. It has its own ammo supply in the form of regular mags, just like the machine gun version, and the support weapon grenade launcher already live in the game. We didn't get to test this because none of us had a supply backpack, but we're wondering if it's actually possible to reload somebody who is making use of the defense wall, if you can reload his or her weapon. I'm pretty sure these walls will have the most impact during automaton missions, as they provide good cover, but it also seems a balanced stratagem, as it will get destroyed after taking just any form of explosive damage. I'm really excited after having seen and tested out all this new cool stuff in the works for Helldivers 2. We can expect a lot of cool stuff coming, and we will need it if we are to fight a new third faction, because looking at the war map, it seems we are pushing back the Terminids and bots all the way back to their home territories. So before we get comfortable, it seems like an excellent moment to drop a third faction in the game. And all these new weapons and stratagems might just come in handy just in time. Let me know down in the comments, what do you guys think about all of these new toys? Well, that's all I have to show you guys today. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and be part of the sci-fi gaming community here that's nearing 1000 subscribers already. For now, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.